Great moment here for marching. You know, Brendan, this wasn't supposed to be part of the telecast. This was part of the pre-game show, if you like. So these young women grabbing the limelight. Where they go? Well, an interesting aspect about these young women is that they've been down here at Mount Smart every morning at 4 o'clock practicing here inside the main stadium, but they have to clear the stadium. Well, they've had to clear the stadium by 6:30, so the track and field officials could move in and prepare for the day's activities. A lovely routine which you'll, I'm sure, enjoy. Originally was going to be deleted from the closing ceremony, but I'm pleased to think that wiser counsel has prevailed, and we're going to be treated to a delightful display from these 1,400 youngsters from 91 different schools around New Zealand. Can't see it. Sure she's not the young lady with the rugby boots on? No. We should emphasise that this is a fun and fitness program based on an extensive range of skipping skills. The Governor-General, Sir Paul Reeves, among the many dignitaries here this evening, including Her Majesty the Queen. This jump rope for heart program, which began 5 years ago, and now 80% of all the schools in New Zealand participate in this program. As well as emphasising the fun elements of the program, the national hearts are those that prevailed here for the opening ceremony. When was it? 10 days ago. Hardly a cloud in the sky, and the wind has dropped as well. In fact, I'm sure many of the athletes who have been competing here over the last 10 days are very envious of the conditions which prevail here at Mount Smart Stadium at the moment. This is Challenge Hussars from Auckland. Look how beautiful the pictures are. We look down from above. The helicopter view here. Marvellous scenes already. Uniflex Pioneers from Christchurch. Lochiel of Wellington with the drums. And around the track here at Mount Smart, 1,400 school children have assembled in blue and red. And they're going to give us jump rope for heart very shortly. So a display by New Zealand's current four top Premier grade teams, Kensington and Lochiel of Wellington, Uniflex Pioneers from Christchurch and Challenge Hussars from Auckland. As the four teams and these 160 young women leave the arena here at Mount Smart, we should pay a special word of thanks to the marching instructor and coordinator of this display, Marina Miller, who has gathered these girls from Auckland and Hamilton. And Mrs. Miller herself is no stranger to the marching scene. She first started marching when she was 13 for the Canadian Guards in Auckland, and in 1981 was in the New Zealand team which won the World Brass Band Marching Championships in Holland.
As you all know, the Commonwealth Games are a celebration of athletic achievement. Well, we can't all be champions, but we can all feel like champions if we take care of our health and general fitness. And that may be easier said than done. But right now, we're going to meet some young people who certainly make it look easy. Their display has been organised by the National Heart Foundation and the Association of Health, Physical Education and Recreation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to jump rope for heart.
Well, we've got a great New Zealand song there with several generations in it. Double J and twice the T, plus Ray Columbus and the Invaders, of course. She's a mod. And I'm sure these young children have won that. So following that block display, we now return to the youngsters on the track, where in fact we'll be seeing them perform again with their single ropes. Meanwhile, the city of Auckland still and calm for this, the final act of the 1990 Commonwealth Games.
wonderful way to start the closing ceremony of the 1990 Commonwealth Games. The youngsters of New Zealand who have warmed this audience in a wonderful way. You may have seen a delightful shot there of the wife of one of the VIPs stamping her foot along to this wonderful routine, and lovely music from these youngsters. They got everyone involved, not only the VIPs, we also saw the athletes joining in. Great atmosphere prevailing already here at Mount Smart Stadium.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking participants in jump rope for heart.
Can I speak on behalf of 1,400 sets of parents, Brendan? They did great, didn't they? They were just super.
And all these youngsters who have come from many parts of New Zealand have met their own costs of transport and accommodation just to be part of this performance. And there we see many of the athletes. In fact, right in the middle of that picture, one of the gold medalists on this track, Sally Gunnell. The athletes have again been accommodated in seats where they, in fact, were situated during the opening ceremony. In fact, you can see the athletes now immediately down the front of this section, far end of the stadium.
That's the Auckland Philharmonia Symphonic
Wind
Band.
The closing ceremony will begin. Hundreds of performers have been working towards this moment for months now. And to add to the spirit of the occasion, we'd like to show your pride in being a New Zealander by joining in with the singing. In your official kit, you'll find the words to all the songs. Do join in. Let's show the world that New Zealand is in fine voice. You'll also find in the kit a light streamer, but please don't use it yet. Later on, we'll be singing Now is the Hour, and that's the time we'd like you to use the light streamer.
Too late, I think.
I'm sure you'll need no encouragement to welcome the members of the Royal Party when you hear the fanfare heralding their return to the stadium. The international television audience has now joined us. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a cheer and make a rousing New Zealand beginning to the closing ceremonies of the 14th Commonwealth Games.
Well, I think you may realise in New Zealand now you're getting a little bonus because the ceremony has run a wee bit behind time. You've been watching for the last 20 minutes or so some of the activity that was not originally meant to be on the television screen. So this is bonus time, folks. But now the official closing ceremony will begin for the world audience.
Guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the closing ceremony of the 14th Commonwealth Games. This evening, the Games Federation flag
Brilliantly sung by the National Youth Choir.
and the crowd of 35,000 here at Mount Smart Stadium tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this evening the Games Federation flag will be lowered and entrusted to the care of the Mayor of Auckland City until the next Commonwealth Games in Canada. Tonight, though, we look to the future, to the youth of the Commonwealth who are the future of the Games and who symbolize the respect and friendship which is our true common wealth. It's time now to say farewell to the sportsmen and sportswomen who have displayed at these Games with such courage and determination the spirit of the Commonwealth. Your Majesty, Your Royal Highnesses, ladies and gentlemen, let us pay tribute to the representatives of the athletes and team managers.
More good Kiwi marching girls coming into the stadium here to head a parade of representatives of each of the countries that took part in the 14th Commonwealth Games. And we're to see some of the leading performers behind the banners and flags of their country.
And the teams will appear in a slightly different order from the way they paraded on the opening ceremony. They come in purely alphabetical order from A to Z, as it were. So we'll see the Australian team first into the stadium, comprising of their flag bearer and 3 specially chosen members of their team. Three members of the royal family here at Mount Smart Stadium this evening: Her Majesty the Queen, along with Duke of Edinburgh and Prince Edward.
And the woman you saw to Prince Philip's left was Mrs. Heatley, wife of Mr. Peter Heatley, chairman of the Commonwealth Games Federation. Great night for the marching girls.
And when the teams do appear into the stadium, they'll be marching 3 countries abreast. And here we see the first brace of countries arriving, with Australia, the Bahamas and Barbados leading the march on. While most of the competitors here at the Commonwealth Games, other than those that are marching, are situated at the far end of the stadium watching this nice moment.
Well, from here on in, Brendan, I think it's spot the gold medal winner, isn't it?
Well, that's right. There's plenty of them, I noticed, in the Australian team. I just caught a brief glimpse of Hayley Lewis. I thought I saw Martin Binnicum there, and Jane Fleming.
In Bermuda, I saw big Brad Cooper, who carried the flag in the discus thrower. So, if you've been watching the games in the last 11 days on One World of Sport, you might recognise some of these characters. Here's Jane Fleming.
There she is, the finest all-round female athlete here at the Games. Won the gold medal in the heptathlon and also in the long jump. And also made the final of the women's 100-metre hurdles. And alongside of her, you'll see Hayley Mills, who picked up how many medals, Keith, in the swimming?
Well, Hayley Mills is a film star,
Sorry,
Brendan.
sorry.
You mean Hayley Lewis.
Yeah.
But funnily enough, they introduced her one night in the... well, there's Chantal, Ferguson, is it not? They introduced Hayley Lewis out at the victory ceremony one night at the pool as Hayley Mills, so not everyone's making that mistake.
And the Canadian team, caught a glimpse there of one of their rhythmic gymnasts, I think, Mary Fazesi, who won 3 gold medals here at these Games.
There she is, Brendan, Hayley Lewis. Great performer at the pool. There's the Canadians as they come in. Mary Fazesi there in the centre. The other gymnast is to the left is the left of your screen is Curtis Hibbert, the black gymnast. A brilliant performer in men's gymnastics.
There's Michael Smith, one of the 3 Canadians marching here this evening, the man who won the gold medal in the decathlon. One of the individual highlights, his performance here, Canadian record. And the members of the royal family clearly enjoying this delightful sight here of the sports men and women of the Commonwealth, taking part in the closing ceremony of the 1990 Commonwealth Games. Carrying the flag for Kenya there a few moments ago, we saw the tall frame of Simon Kipkemboi, the team captain and a bronze medalist in the 400 metres. And one of the great images of the Games, Linford Christie, at the moment he won his gold medal in the 100 metres. Andrew Lloyd, another who provided much drama here at the stadium. Angela Walker, the English woman.
Nick Saunders there. Karen Van Werdum, Adrian Morehouse from the pool. Nikki Jenkins. Great moments. Tons of memories. There's the young fellow from Nauru.
Tani Ruckle, the marathon runner from Australia who won the silver medal. One of the Welshmen who sadly was disqualified. One of the sad aspects of these Games, the drug scandal.
Douglas Wakahuri, the winner of the marathon.
And still the countries and their flag bearers pouring into the stadium. And we're just trying to spot some Kiwis here for you. They're certainly in the stadium at the moment.
There's the Welshmen, Brendan. They did pretty well too. They'll be very proud of their performance here.
In fact, I think I can see Tania Murray, the young teenager from Otago who won a gold medal here in the stadium about this time last night. Hopefully we might catch a glimpse of her on our screens in just a moment.
There's some of the many Aussies. Here comes Nauru. There's Janet Boyle, who lost that gold medal yesterday in the high jump. What a magnificent competitor she was.
Two of the many thousands of volunteers who have done such a splendid job here over the last 10 days. In fact, one of the comments that have been made to me time and time again today by members of the foreign press and foreign media here is how helpful and how friendly and how obliging the volunteers have been. And that's not always the case, I may add, when you go to the Olympic and Commonwealth Games.
Amen to that, yeah.
There's this Swaziland banner, the competitors from that southern African country that had such a terrible job getting here.
There she is, Tanya Murray in the New Zealand uniform. There's Judy Howard, who won the bowls pairs, and Roger Harvey in the middle, the 2 gold medal in the shooting. So New Zealand very well represented. What a wonderful moment for the girl from Ranfurly who now lives in Dunedin and runs, of course, for the Tyree Club. Wasn't she great, John Davies?
Absolutely brilliant, and a bit unexpected to win a gold. Some people picked her to win a medal, but Tanya Murray, this will be a moment that she will always remember.
That's Tracy Cox, the Zimbabwe diver there, who performed so brilliantly. There's the lady from Western Samoa who was in the bowls. Brilliant performer, great showstopper really out there at Pakuranga. Gary Anderson, what a brilliant performer he was for New Zealand, with a hatful of medals out at the velodrome.
In fact, I think he finished up not only with 3 gold, he picked up a minor medal as well. I think it was a silver. 4 medals from these games. Gary Anderson carrying the New Zealand flag. There's Graham McCabe, who's the chef de mission with the New Zealand team.
You know, Brendan, New Zealanders have become a nation of flag wavers at these games. I've never seen as many New Zealand flags as I've seen in Auckland in the last 11 days.
Certainly, Keith. In fact, outside here of Mount Smart Stadium, the hottest business every day amongst the many kiosks that were set up were those selling New Zealand flags.
Here's the Seychelles. You know, they had a man in the final of the triple jump this afternoon, and they had that relay final too, didn't they?
Yes, fine performance from the Seychelles, but the flags and banners around here are tremendous, and of course, when you see them out, there's Memphis Christie giving us the thumbs up.
Now that's interesting, because earlier today Christie said he would not march and would not appear at this closing ceremony as a protest and sympathy with the English relay team that was disqualified today, but obviously he's had a change of heart, and that's good to see.
There are the Kiwis coming down there.
And Graham McCabe, the manager, must be given a lot of credit for putting a good team together here and thoroughly planning this out. He owns a toy shop in Putaruru, and what is he going to do on Monday? I guess he's back at work.
So the flag bearers and the representatives of the 55 nations, I think, was the final tally here at the Commonwealth Games, taking their place inside the main stadium.
That's Big Brad Cooper again. Beautiful people from all parts of the Commonwealth, all colours and creeds.
Members of the National Youth Choir also joining in the rousing reception that the crowd is giving the representatives from the various countries. The Auckland Philharmonia Symphonic Wind Band providing the music here this evening. You can see the eyes of those competitors just sneaking a little look at the big television screen at the far end of the stadium and smiling when they saw themselves on the screen. That's the scene here at Mount Smart Stadium on this beautiful Auckland night.
Papua New Guinea, volunteers, Kiwis. Englishmen.
Sir David Beattie, President of the New Zealand Olympic and Commonwealth Games Association.
As President of the New Zealand Olympic and Commonwealth Games Association, I hand back to you the flag of your country, both in token of our friendship and goodwill towards you and as a memento of the 14th Commonwealth Games in Auckland, 1990.
And now Sir Peter Heatley.
I ask that the Federation ceremonial flag be struck.
Auckland Junior Pipe Band entering the stadium via the main entrance to begin a circuit of the track, and the pipe band will be followed by a party made up of members of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police who will witness on behalf of the Canadian nation the lowering of the Commonwealth Games Federation flag. Canada, of course, the next country to hoist the Commonwealth Games. All members of the royal family most impressed at this imposing sight of these magnificent horses making their way around the main stadium. So we had a horse and rider here on the opening ceremony. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them here for the closing ceremony, members of this famous Canadian constabulary, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or the Mounties, of course, as they are affectionately known.
And it's appropriate, too, that we hear the skirl of the pipes, because that's where the games were before they came to Auckland. And, of course, New Zealand has a fine reputation for pipe bands. In fact, it's a fact that we have more pipe bands in New Zealand than they have in Scotland.
Royal Canadian Mounted Police, who serve as Canada's national police. 22,000 Mounties in Canada. They've long been regarded, of course, as a symbol of Canada's heritage.
The representatives of the Royal
Now, this
Canadian
is a proud
Mounted
moment for
Police,
8
with the Auckland Regional
sportsmen who
Junior
were
Pipe Band,
involved in the
are
Games
now
of Auckland of
escorting the
1950.
flag party. who is made up this evening.
And straight away to the right,
New Zealand
the familiar figure to some of our older viewers of Jean Hurring, formerly Jean Stewart. Yvette Williams is there. John Holland, you see him in the film at the bottom. All this taken from the Games of Auckland in 1950. 8 heroes of those games, including to the left in the second row with the walking stick, Stan Lay, who won New Zealand's first gold medal at the Empire Games in London. But here's Jean Hurring first of all. And Jean's husband was a very fine swimming commentator for us. Here's Harold Nelson.
Man who won the gold medal, of course, on the opening day of 1950.
Leslie Rowe
competed in the women's 4x110 yards relay in the 1950 Empire Games, for which the team won a silver medal.
And John Dutch Holland you saw there too.
Won a silver medal in the 1950 Games. There's Kerry Ashby, a member of the New Zealand Rowing 8, which also took a silver medal. Gold medalist at Auckland in 1950, Yvette Williams, a great and versatile athlete. There he is, old Stan Lay, a remarkable man. As Keith said, he won a gold medal at the 1930 Games, but he was also back here in 1950.
Yes, he read the Oath of Amateurism in 1950. And there's Winky Griffin, Winky Ashby, and proud moment for the husband and wife marching in this parade of 8 former great New Zealanders from the last time the Games were held here in Auckland. The flag is coming down as they approach it. And they'll fold the flag, and then they'll present it to one of the youngest members of the New Zealand team of 1990 to carry back.
So these 8 very proud sportsmen and women from the 1950 Games: Stan Lay, John Holland, Kerry Ashby from rowing, Winky Ashby the swimmer, Jean Hurring from swimming, Yvette Corlett, Nee Williams, of course, from track and field, Harold Nelson from athletics, and Leslie Gibson from athletics as well. Rekindling memories of the last time the Commonwealth Games were held in the city in 1950.
There's always a considerable ceremonial attached to the closing ceremony of the Olympic and the Commonwealth Games. And so the flag, which has flown proudly here for the last 11 days, will come down. So now it passes through the hands of the flag party, who will ceremonially fold the flag. Of course, when these 8 fine sportsmen and women competed in Auckland in 1950, the Games were the Empire Games. There were only 12 countries competed, but it will be remembered too as a marvelous occasion for the city of Auckland. But you know, Brendan, this is a change from the rehearsal the other night. The other night it was said that they would just fold the flag for a young member of the New Zealand team to carry back. But this is a lot better, I think. John Holland to the left, Kerry Ashby to the right, leading the parade of the flag back up the straight. And yes, there is a young member of the New Zealand team waiting just out of your shot. And you'll see that athlete come in to the picture soon to receive the flag on behalf of this year's New Zealand Commonwealth Games team.
So the flag being folded by these 8 sportsmen and women from the 1950 Games, and they will then hand it to a young member of the New Zealand team, who will then present the flag to the chairman of the Commonwealth Games Federation. So who is going to be the privileged young New Zealander? We can actually see the person down in front of us. We won't tell you who it is just at the moment. There she is, a face that's become very familiar to New Zealanders over the last 10 days. 14-year-old Nikki Jenkins.
And how appropriate Harold Nelson presents it to her. He set the 1950 Games alight with a win in the 6 miles. And
New
Nicola
Zealand's
Jenkins.
gold medal gymnast, 14-year-old Nicola Jenkins, will now present the flag to the chairman of the Games Federation, Mr. Peter Heatley, who also won a gold medal for Scotland in the diving at the Newmarket Olympic Pool at the Empire and
10
Commonwealth
days that I'm
Games
sure have changed the
in
life
1950.
of young Nikki Jenkins, who wasn't even originally a member of the New Zealand team for these games.
And perhaps one of our last looks at that superb outfitting of the New Zealand team. That's the best looking New Zealand team with the fantail shape at the back.
Peter Heatley receiving the flag from Nikki Jenkins. Alongside of him, the Mayor of Auckland, Dame Kiri Te Kanawa.
As chairman of the Commonwealth Games Federation, I entrust this flag to your care and ask that in due time that you or your successor in office will deliver it to the chief citizen of Victoria in Canada, who will host the 15th Commonwealth Games.
This duty, Mr. Chairman, I willingly undertake to fulfill.
Canada's moment with the help of the National Youth Choir here at the closing ceremony of the 1990 Commonwealth Games. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Vancouver Island in Canada, the coastal Salish tribe and the Nuchan North escorting a huge and impressive totem pole into the stadium. And the escorting of this pole, which was traditionally carved and raised as a symbol of welcome. There it is, this massively impressive totem pole that has come all the way from British Columbia.
it's interesting, Brendan, that these Indigenous people from Vancouver Island have something in common with the Maori people of New Zealand.
Indeed they do. They, in fact, were the first native people to be met by Captain Cook on his trip to the North Pacific in 1778. The welcome that we're seeing expressed at the moment by the simultaneous raising of 2 totem poles, one here in Mount Smart Stadium and the other in Victoria, Canada.
represent the beginning of time and the intelligence of humanity. The wolf figure represents the highest authority of the new Carnival tribe. As the pole is placed here in our stadium, a Salish pole will be raised on the lawn of the legislative buildings in Victoria, Canada. The symbolic raising of these poles hopes to encourage an understanding of the Indigenous peoples and strengthen the bonds between all people of our Commonwealth countries.
And there are the scenes from the city of Victoria on Vancouver Island, where the second of the totem poles has been raised.
This magnificent 36-foot high totem pole carved from western red cedar. Totem pole, which will be gifted to the people of New Zealand and will be permanently installed at the Atawata Marae on the North Shore following the Games. Wonderful moment here at the closing ceremony of the 1990 Commonwealth Games, a display and a gift from the Indigenous people of British Columbia.
Zealand Employment Service. How can I help you?
Oh, yes, I have a vacancy at our office.
What sort of position, sir?
Oh, you could call it clerical, I suppose. It involves some keyboard skills. Previous work experience, fast and accurate. And I must be able to communicate well.
So you can start Monday. Fine.
Dad, can I parachute out of my bedroom window?
No.
Can I grow a mustache?
No.
Can we go shark fishing?
No. No.
Dad, can I have a pet monkey?
No.
Oh, darn. Beekeeping!
No.
Dad,
What?
can we go to McDonald's?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Can I drive?
No.
No.
Grown up with that label. I've known none other. I've done what my great-grandfather started out doing. That's, I think, a tradition in our family to grow good oranges. And I think it may be difficult to raise good oranges, but it's easy for you to choose them. Read the label.
Sunkissed, now available at Foodtown.
Go, go! Go, go! Kodak! Kodak is glittering gold. Go, go! Kodak is color.
The sun's setting on the 1990 Commonwealth Games as we welcome you back to Mount Smart Stadium. Two tribal groups. Host Southeast tribe and the Nuchar North being extended the traditional New Zealand welcome from a party of 60 Maori. This welcoming party will not perform a challenge, but will do a haka, which will serve as an acknowledgement of the native Canadians. Now the party of Maori will perform another haka. Who played such a prominent part in the opening ceremony. There he is again. You can see down to the bottom right-hand corner of the screen.
superb. Young dancers from all over Auckland. None of these kids have had any formal dance training, but a love of dancing has brought them together, especially for this occasion, under the tutelage of Bridget Tefiti. And she's choreographed this exuberant modern routine. There are 12 professional modern dancers performing on the centre stage. These 12 are from all over New Zealand, and most of them have danced internationally. Choreographed by Mary Jane O'Reilly, who choreographed the opening ceremony dance as well. typical of the accent on youth of the future. And now a song specially written for the closing ceremony. From New Zealand, Mike Farrell. She's Betty Ann Monga from the pop group Adija and the song We Can Work Wonders. And on the center stage, the children of 22 countries brought to New Zealand by World Vision as part of their child survival program to be held in conjunction with the Commonwealth Games. All the athletes of the Commonwealth are coming out to join them for a party in the centre. And this group of children of the Commonwealth will be touring New Zealand from north to south in the upcoming days with a marvellous tour brought together by World Vision, responding to a call from the Commonwealth Games to celebrate 60th anniversary of the Games in an appropriate manner. Here's Chris Thompson again with the song that's become so familiar and so popular as the children of the Commonwealth dance. Again, this is the moment.
Spirit within you, let it
chaos and festivity here at Mount Smart Stadium. A little impromptu departure from the script there as the competitors of the Commonwealth Games decided to join in. Their show is supposed to come a little later in proceedings, but this is the magic spontaneity of the Commonwealth Games, and we'll be back with more from this party in just a moment. Turn of the Pink Panther will screen approximately at 9:30 upon the conclusion of this ceremony. Well, now is a very good test of the organisational skills of the Commonwealth Games organising committee. They have to make sure that all these athletes who are in a real festive and party mood can return sanely to their seats in the hope that the ceremony can proceed.
Mr. Peter Heatley, Chairman of
Jenny
the
Goodwin, the
Commonwealth
PA
Games
announcer, having a little
Federation.
difficulty competing with the tremendous noise and din that's reverberating around the stadium.
What's happened here, Brendan, is that the athletes have thrown away the script and they've gone completely spontaneously to the centre of the field. They weren't supposed to be there at this time. I think that this is brilliant, though.
Well, I think the understanding was that some of the athletes, in fact, could join in initially with the young children from around the Commonwealth, the 132 youngsters that have been brought here by World Vision. But the understanding was that they returned to their seats immediately the song was finished, but they're still all inside the main arena.
The 14th Commonwealth Games.
However, common sense has prevailed and the show continues, regardless of where the athletes happen to be.
In the name of the Commonwealth Games Federation, I proclaim the 14th Commonwealth Games, Auckland, 1990, closed. And in accordance with tradition, I call upon the sportsmen and sportswomen of the Commonwealth to assemble in 4 years' time in Canada, there to celebrate the 15th Commonwealth Games. May they display cheerfulness and concord, so that the spirit of our family of nations may be carried on with ever greater eagerness, courage and honor for the good of humanity and the peace of the world.
A sense of expectation here at the Mount Smart Stadium, and here comes one of the showstoppers tonight, the Kiwi Reds. The number 75 squadron formation on their way to Mount Smart.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to say farewell to the head of the Commonwealth and their Royal Highnesses. Please welcome Dame Kiri Te Kanawa.
What a super moment this will be for a real New Zealand farewell. Well, there's no doubt about it now. Auckland has done it bigger and better than anyone else. And it's really shades of Christchurch 1974, Brendan Telfer, with Her Majesty and Prince Philip leaving in the open back car,
trying to thread their way through this swarm of 2,500 athletes who have blanketed the arena, escorting the royal family on their circuit around the track before they leave Mount Smart Stadium. This is a traffic jam down there at the likes of the Auckland Harbour Bridge, seldom seen at 8 o'clock on a midweek morning.
Tinsel raining down from the skies.
So everybody's joining in the party here this evening as Mount Smart Stadium being engulfed by the thunderous, deafening fireworks display. A great carnival atmosphere here as the curtain comes down on the 1990 Commonwealth Games. In the opinion of many of the foreigners here, they have had no hesitation in telling me that this is the finest Commonwealth Games they've ever seen.
No doubt about it, Brendan. Those of us who've been lucky enough to go to a few, this is the best.
Sitting just a few feet away from me for the last 10 days has been the respected BBC broadcaster Ron Pickering, who's been to just about every Commonwealth Games and Olympic Games since the war, and he's put his thumb up in front of me tonight at about 2 minutes.
Remember those big bird things from the opening ceremony? They're back in again tonight, following Her Majesty, Prince Philip and Prince Edward on their very long journey around Mount Smart Stadium, a stadium, I suspect, that will never repeat these scenes for a long, long, long time. Catch a glimpse, if you can, of the people in the grandstands, the ordinary fans who've paid their money to get in tonight. They are having a party there. Everyone in the stadium is on their feet shaking whatever they've got to shake.
Sir Paul Reeves, and being ably assisted there by that very fine trumpeter, Geoffrey Farmer. Doesn't need the trumpet tonight. No show without Bob, and it's a big sporting occasion.
Bob and Hazel. Behind them, Sonny Rumfowl. All the athletes have gathered over on the far side of the stadium to follow the car around, and it's absolute chaos. There's Sonny Rumfowl. What a happy man he must be, playing a big part behind the scenes politically for the build-up to these Commonwealth Games. Party about to make their exit from Mount Smart Stadium, going past the old main stand down the back straight of the arena.
The closing ceremony is now concluded, but please remain in your seats while I make an important announcement for the athletes. Celebrations for the athletes will continue at the Games Village, and the vehicles which will take you there are awaiting for you now.
So the flag continue to wave, the streamers continue to flourish. The arena glittered with litter at the moment, as this party is just, I suspect, starting to hit top gear.
There they are. It's going to be a haka, I think. There's Rod Cheatley from the cycling team, and there's Grant Forbes from the swimming team, with Anthony Moss leading the haka. Well, probably the luckiest man on the television New Zealand commentary team tonight is Peter Williams, who's very much part of the party somewhere down there in that frenzied mob. Peter.
Yeah, hi. Ross Anderson from the New Zealand swimming team is with me. Ross, have you ever experienced anything quite like this before?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Seoul and Edinburgh last time as well.
Yeah, but this is hometown stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty neat, you know. The crowd's giving me a bit of goosebumps every now and again, so it's pretty neat.
Did you enjoy Dame Kiri?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it's great.
Now, is there a big party for the entire New Zealand Games team tonight? Have a good time, Ross.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, and we can perhaps just wander on a little bit further in amongst this melee of New Zealand and Commonwealth athletes. Here's Many one of the track and field coaches. Many, you're a competitor, I think, in 1974. Good to have you.
That's great. Oh, it's tremendous to be here with the team in 1990.
You weren't part of the haka, I see, over there.
Oh, I was trying to get in, but I wasn't close enough. Love to be in.
How close did you get to Dame Kiri?
Oh, I think it was close enough to be in between Kiri and the Queen. Tremendous.
I tell you what, Keith and Brendan, there was a vehicle which was carrying some VIPs away a short time ago, a brand new vehicle which was being driven by some members of the army here, and it was sat on by the athletes. I frankly would hate to see the repair bill for that car when they finally get the athletes off it. The brand new tyres on it were virtually flattened. It is just absolute melee down here on the stadium floor. A great big party going on. There's volunteers, there's officials, there's athletes, and I suspect that one or two spectators and other media people want to jump the fence, not quite in the kosher fashion, but hell, it's a party. It's one of the great parties this country has ever seen, and it's an absolute privilege to be part of it down here.
And as you've been speaking, Peter, images of the games have been playing to the home television audience and to the audience on the big screen inside the stadium, reliving just many of the moments that made the last 11 days so special for this city, this country, and the Commonwealth. Thanks, Peter. We'll get back to you later. These people with the T-shirts here are so familiar to the people of Auckland. Some of the many volunteers, those World Vision people, Brendan, have played a big part. They got the thing going, really, didn't they?
That's right, yes. The 132 youngsters from 21 countries from around the world, around the Commonwealth, mostly from the developing countries, who have been rehearsing meticulously by way of videotapes and audio tapes over the last 3 months for this coordinated performance, and it really triggered off a response from the athletes themselves, who engulfed the stadium, and from that moment on the script went out the window. They did start about 25 minutes late, but they in fact have caught up, but quite a few of the scheduled events have gone by the wayside. So this marvellous 11-day spectacle has finished. I suppose, Keith, if you wanted to be brutally honest, you could say it's been 10 days of unabashed patriotism for New Zealanders, but I guess for a nation of people who are constantly told that we're afflicted with a sense of pessimism, it's probably been a good thing.
Absolutely. A lot of New Zealanders don't quite know how to express themselves about their country, especially when they think about 1990 and what we're celebrating this year. And I think this celebration of the last 10 days should remind a whole lot of New Zealanders that we're a beautiful little place to live in. That's what I think, Brendan. I like your line from the opening day, Brendan. If I could quote it back to you. What a great opening, now what a great closing. And isn't it great that the world can see how good New Zealand is?
Okay, I think Peter Williams may have a couple of the Canadian athletes with him. Peter.
Indeed, Brendan, I've got Robin Marr and Sue Lee, a couple of athletes. You guys not by any chance from Victoria where the next games are going to be held, are you?
I'm living in Victoria. I've been living in Victoria for the last 4.5 years. We're quite excited about having the games.
You think you can put on a party as good as this, then?
Oh, I hope so. They'll have quite an act to follow.
What sort of success did you have in your competition?
I was a finalist in the 1500 meters. I didn't have the race of my life, but it was a great experience.
And for Sue, you from Victoria as well?
I'm from Vancouver, so it's a ferry boat ride across to Victoria. So I have to encourage all those Vancouverites to take the ferry across.
So you're looking forward to 1994. Do you think you'll be there as a competitor?
I don't know. It could be interesting, but yeah, I think that's a possibility.
Hey, I guess there's a heck of a party to enjoy tonight. Thanks for coming to Auckland. It's been great having you guys and everybody from around the Commonwealth here.
Thanks for the warm welcome. It's been wonderful being here. It's one of the friendliest places I've ever traveled to. We'll never forget it.
We like to think so too. Thanks a lot, ladies. Have a nice night. Okay, thanks for coming. Well,
Thank you, Peter.
There are thousands of people down here, but gee, you can see the scene from out there. It's one of those nights that will never be forgotten.
Peter Williams, who I think can probably swap his microphone for his dancing shoes now and join in the party down there.
It goes on and on.
I guess we should pay special word of thanks here to the entire New Zealand team for the wonderful moments, the fine memories they've provided over the last 11 days. I think the final medal count for New Zealand was 58, which in fact is a record, surpassing the previous mark, which had stood, in fact, since 1950, when New Zealand won 51 medals. But today, they went over 50 and finished up with 58, including 17 gold medals, which is easily a record for one single Games. In fact, from the last two Commonwealth Games, New Zealand has won 18 gold medals, so they nearly equalled that effort here at these Games.
That's the catchphrase for the Games of Victoria in '94. And all you budding New Zealand sportsmen who think this is the party, have a getting out on the roads, getting down to the gym and getting into this, because you could be part of this scene at the Commonwealth Games have really come back as a fun festival, the friendly games.
Peter Williams is still the consummate professional broadcaster and is resisting the temptations to join in the festivities. I think he's got one of the New Zealand badminton players down there, Peter.
Absolutely, Brad, and the dancing and the party will come later. But for the moment, Graham Robson, the man who one of the athletes who took the oath of allegiance on the night of the opening ceremony. Graham, a memorable night for you back on the opening day, but what about the time since?
Oh, it's a tremendous, been a tremendous 2 weeks, Peter, and I'll never forget this game. It's a tremendous closing ceremony today. I think this is the best I've ever been in as a closing ceremony. You really feel the spirit of the people here today, and the crowd has just been tremendous, and I think that's contributed to the Games, having a game in your home country.
What about the overall performance of the badminton team, despite not making any finals and winning any medals? Are they happy enough with their performances?
Oh, we're very pleased. We did exactly what we wanted to do. It would have been nice to get a medal, but we know we played well, and it's pretty tough. You had to basically come in the top 10 in the world to win a medal in badminton here, so we're very pleased with what we did.
Go and enjoy your party, Graham.
Thanks, Peter.
All right, Keith and Brendan, can I abandon the microphone now? I think there's a bit of dancing to be done.
Get down, Peter, get down.
The 2,500 competitors from the over 50 countries that have been in New Zealand for the last 10 days having the final say. And I'm very very pleased actually for Chris Thompson that this song has become so popular over the last couple of weeks. When it was first released back about September last year, I thought it was rather shabbily treated by the radio stations in particular in this country, who didn't seem to want to know it. It sort of drifted off into no man's land, but it's come back with a vengeance, and I guess it would be the #1 song in New Zealand right now, and I'm very pleased for Chris Thompson and the rest of the musicians who put together this very fine song.
The party goes on. Sir Paul's out there. He's out there getting into the scene, as he usually does. I might add, he loves this ceremonial, and he realizes, I'm sure, as we all do, that this is very much a part of the 1990 celebrations.
Well, after the disappointments and the despair and the rather dismal time that the Commonwealth Games experienced in 1986 in Edinburgh, it's good to see that the Games are up and running again, although for all the festivities and for all the celebrations, there's one or two, I thought, warning signals have come out of the Games over the last 10 days. The spectre of drugs has reared its ugly presence at these Games, and that's got to be stamped out very quickly, or else it'll drag the entire Commonwealth Games down. And also, I suppose we must ask whether the Games are getting out of hand financially. It's cost the city of Auckland $150 million, and they've still got a few debts to pay yet. And I really wonder how many countries outside of a very small handful can in fact afford to stage these Games in the future.
Yes, I guess so, Brendan, but really when it comes down to what's 160 million when you see an investment in the youth of the Commonwealth, such as we've seen here tonight.
Jane Fleming on the track, where she won a gold medal in the heptathlon, and she's celebrating now. And Peter Williams still resisting the temptation to get on the dance floor. This time he has one of the senior executives of the Commonwealth Games company with him, Tom Aldridge. Peter.
Indeed, thank you, Brendan. Well, Tom, is this the end for you?
Oh no, it's the end for these games. The 40 games are over, but look at that, aren't they wonderful? The people are really enjoying themselves.
Did you ever have any doubt that things would turn out the way they have?
No, I didn't, but I must say I had some convincing of a lot of other people to do.
So what's the future for the Games company now? How long is it going to be before things wind up?
Oh, we'll wind it up very quickly, but we hope there are a lot of things we can preserve. Not sure what yet, but we've got to hold on to something from these games.
Did you get any words from some of the other VIPs tonight? Did you talk to the Queen at all, or any of their Royal Highnesses?
I spoke to the Queen earlier on, and she was thrilled the way things were going. I also spoke to a lot of people who are very, people from overseas, congratulated New Zealand, thought it was marvellous, and I think we've done a great job. Yeah, I think it's a real credit the way things have gone. Credit to Auckland and credit to New Zealand.
Well, I think on behalf of the people of New Zealand, Tom, we can say congratulations to Commonwealth Games 1990 Limited. You've put on one hell of a show over the last 11 days.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you.
All right, that's it from down on the floor for the moment. Keith and Brendan.
You can put that identification tag away tomorrow. That's a souvenir. We've all got them. People who played the big parts had them. The people who played the middle-sized parts had them. And the people who played the little parts all had to be identified. So I suppose as the music winds down, we might say this really is the moment when the party comes to an end. Now, what a show it's been.
And interestingly enough, very few of the 35,000 people here want to go home as well. Okay, so that's just about the end of our coverage here from Mount Smart Stadium as Chris Thompson and the musicians take a break, and now many of the crowd starting to leave the stadium. So very emotional moment here, but also a very warm moment at Mount Smart Stadium with the conclusion of the 1990 Commonwealth Games. On behalf of all the Television New Zealand commentators, men and women, that have brought the Games to you over the last 10 days, we bid you farewell, and we look forward to coming back again in 4 years' time for the next Games.
For the organisation and the running of the Games. Over 20,000 people have given of their time over the past few years to make the Games possible. Please join me in giving thanks to the volunteers. Ladies and gentlemen, the volunteers! And finally, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of all those responsible for the organisation of the Games, I'd like to thank you for your support tonight and throughout the Games. You've been a wonderful audience. We couldn't have done it without you. And we hope you enjoy it.
So a dramatic moment comes to an end. The 14th Commonwealth Games are over.